cold February evening, a shadow walked away. A boy with dreams and laughter, now lost in yesterday. The seasons turn in silence, time spins without a sound. Yet every whispered memory still echoes all around. Don't stop calling his name, don't let the silence win. Keep the porch light shining bright, keep the hope alive within. For Sebastian, our dear friend, every heartbeat says the same. You are loved, you are remembered. We'll never stop calling your name. His picture's in our windows, his laughter fills the air. No amount of passing moments can diminish how we care. Every candle ever lighted, every prayer that we share is a promise to the future, a testament to prayer. Don't stop calling his name, don't let the silence win. Keep the porch light shining bright, keep the hope alive within. For Sebastian, our dear friend, every heartbeat says the same. You are loved, you are remembered. We'll never stop calling your name. Sebastian, if somehow you hear us, know our hearts beat strong for you. People searching in the shadows, still holding on to truth. You have never been forgotten, not for one single day. Our promise stands unbroken, we're not walking away. Don't stop calling his name, don't let the silence win. Keep the porch light shining bright, keep the hope alive within. For Sebastian, our dear friend, every heartbeat says the same. You are loved, you are remembered. We'll never stop calling your name. To everyone listening, please remember Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. If you know something, no matter how small, share it with law enforcement. Sebastian, you are loved, you are missed, you are loved, you are remembered. And as long as there are people who care, your name will continue to be spoken. Your picture will continue to be seen, and hope will continue to live. This is our promise. We'll never stop looking.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. Hi, Michelle. Hello, Gypsy. Hello, Mamal. Hello, Sharon. Hello, hello. Hello, Millie. Glad to see you all here today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you very much. Hello, Becky. Good to see you. Anybody in the bushes? Hello. Anybody watching on replay? Thank you. So today is Thursday, the 23rd. Can't believe it's already the 23rd, 2026. And trying to wake Happy up. She's always snoring. Yeah, happy birthday. Yesterday was Millie's birthday, and today is my mod Raymond's anniversary. Hey, Seth, good to see you. I sound frowny. After reading this stuff, you're right, honey. I was trying to poke Happy. I gave her a bath earlier, and now she's just laid down. Yesterday, I tried to overdose her on some puppy ice cream. I had 3 left, and I gave her all 3 of them. So she's snoring. I was hoping she'd be quiet, but geez. Anyway. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a phone call. Let me tell them I'm on live. Hold on just a minute. I'm sorry. I apologize. Sorry about that. Okay. Hello, show poodles. Hello, everybody coming in. Hello, hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you all. So yeah, I was saying blessings. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I was saying Raymond, today is his anniversary, so I think he's going to sleep because he has to get up and work and drive. He drives a truck in the middle of the night, so 1:30. So he needs his rest. But anyway, happy anniversary to him and Miss Chicken Lady, yay! I think he said 37 years. 37 years. But happy birthday to everybody. So today, thank you for coming in and spending a little bit of time with me. I'm going to go over, I was dreading this day. I was dreading it. I was putting it off. I know y'all have probably read and saw some things, and heard people talking about it and people going over it. And I was going to commentate on theirs. And I'm like, nope, you can do this. You can do it. I'm not going to, my channel's a little bit different. So what I am going to do is I am going to go over the factual reports. I got them. Seth did inform me that they are going to be sealed. I don't know who's pushing for that. His attorney does want to keep them out. But I got my hands on them and I decided, okay, sit down and read them. Well, to this point, I've got to the 6th page, and what I'm going to do is I am going to read the factual things from there, but I'm putting my thoughts and opinions on them. So that's what I'm going to do thus far. That's just me. That's how I am. And everything is factual from the lawsuit. For those of you that don't know, Seth Rogers, who is in here right now, has, yes, and it's a definite trigger warning. Seth is in here right now, and he did put a federal individual lawsuit on Sumner County Sheriff's Office, specifically Eric Craddock and Brandon Carter, the detective that was on this case, and there's room for more. We'll get into all of that. And Department of Children and Family Services in the state of Tennessee, which for those that don't know, they already have a lot of problems, and they already have, speaking of the state of Tennessee, they already have a class action lawsuit against them already. But Seth is doing this individually, and it's not for money. I am so sick of hearing that, okay? But I'm not here to fight all that. I do what I will give you my opinions, and Lord only knows where my opinions are going to go because this case tears me all to pieces. I'm probably going to try not to look at the chat. It's probably advised when I do this case to not look at the chat so much, but y'all go ahead and put your thoughts and opinions down there. And my mods have already been told if there's trolls that come in here, that's fine. But if they want to show their butts, they get a warning. And then after that, they can go. They can just go. I don't have time for it. I will say this content here is for awareness, to hope, because it goes over people's heads 7 or 8 times. It has to be told, even though you hear other reputable channels talking about it. It has to be told over and over again, obviously, unfortunately. And it's always good to get other people's opinions, but it is for reporting, it is for public awareness, and it is for commentary, and it is already out there. And unfortunately, we should not even be here having to do this. Nobody should. But I don't think there's really any need to do fair use. I might play one video of WSMV. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. And I don't remember even who put that out, if it was WSMV or if it's Hindsight's, and I know she don't care. But Section 107 of the Copyright Act does give me that leeway to share that. And, you know, I'm not trying to copyright anybody. All of their videos belong to them, and it is for public. It is already out there in the public and for public information and awareness. And everything that I have here, people's been asking me, you can go to PACER under the federal court information and get your documents. Please, I'm not pointing out one person, but please don't ask me that again, okay? Please. If you're a creator, you know how to get them. Okay, you know how to look it up. Smiley don't have time to do everybody's job for them. I just don't. And I'm not being ugly. I just don't. Especially when I answer 1 or 2, 3 times, no, I don't have time to link it for you. I don't have the time. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm not even home right now. So I'm not being ugly, but I don't have the time. Nobody helps me. I do, you know, I have asked people for help, but okay, this is a no-brainer. I'm sorry, y'all. This case just tears me up, period. I want y'all to be able to feel comfortable here, and I want you to be able to put your thoughts and opinions here. And I want you to be mindful that Seth is in here. And probably the other parents are watching everything as well. Hey, Lady Freedom. Hello, everybody coming in. But I want to clearly put this disclaimer up and state that everything in here is my opinions that I say or add to. They are my own opinions, and they are offered whether you want them or not. This is what you get, because on this channel, you get what you get. And everything is coming from facts, but you're going to get everything fact from my heart and my head, and you're going to get my opinion whether you ask for it or not. So be careful what you do ask for, because you will get it here. But just remember this. Remember that allegations contained in this lawsuit are claims, and they're claims made by the filing party. They have not been proven in a court of law, and all parties are presumed innocent, and they are entitled to that until the evidence and defense comes through. However, on the same note, Seth Rogers has every single right to feel the way he does, and every single right to file this lawsuit. And there was plenty of screw ups, in my opinion. But this channel does not encourage harassment, threats, intimidation, or targeting of any individual or family member or agency or witness or anybody. So please remember that. Keep all comments respectful and try to stay focused on the facts, and try not to get me unfocused, please. Please. Hey, Doodle, and everybody coming in. Again, just be respectful. Just use a little bit of common sense. This is to keep attention on Sebastian, to bring awareness and focus back to Sebastian. And this is to help people understand, if you didn't see it before, there was things going on. And I mean, like I said, I stopped on page 6, but honey, the police department and everybody involved in Sebastian's life knew and should have known years before Sebastian even went missing. And if you missed that part, that's the part that you need to pay attention to. Okay? That's the part you need to pay attention to, because in my opinion, Sumner County Sheriff's Office dropped the ball, and so did CPS. And this is where his father is standing up fighting for him and saying if they had contacted him, if they had did things a little bit different, things might be different and the case might be moving on. And I say to you, if it was your child, wouldn't you do the same thing? Because if you wouldn't, I don't call you much of a parent. I'm sorry. I don't know who you are. I don't know your thoughts on that. I'm not even giving you a chance to answer. But if you wouldn't, I don't call you much of a parent. Hey, I see you. Hello, everybody coming in. And as we know, and I want to state again at the beginning of this, as we know, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, if you're not familiar with this case, he was last seen and went missing early morning hours or late night, February 25th, early morning hours. He was reported missing February 26, 2024. So if you have any information or credible information about his disappearance, please call the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations at 1-800-TBI-FIND or the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. So let's get on with it. Thank you, everybody, for coming in. I appreciate you very much. So as I was saying, I finally started on this lawsuit. So there will be bits and pieces of it here and there, and you'll get my take, and then you'll get the facts out of the lawsuit. We'll just do this different than everybody else. Hey, Shorty and everybody. It's truly heartbreaking. It's that's not even the word for it. This whole mess is heartbreaking and gut-wrenching, but just when you think it couldn't get no worse, oh, it gets worse. It gets worse. So I was reading last night in my quiet space for myself, no noise, nobody around, except maybe Happy snoring. I was I was sitting in my own thoughts, and I was looking through these real hard over and over. Some of them I had to just keep going. It wasn't because it needed a genius to do it. It was just unbelievable. Some of the stuff I was seeing and reading right there on paper in front of my eyes. It broke my heart even more. I've been on this case from day one, A1. I said day one, A1. And I have had many thoughts. I have had many opinions. I have been wrong on a lot of things. I said I have been wrong on a lot of things. I have been right on a lot of things too. And I'm not gonna, and I will never apologize for the way I feel. And I will never, ever apologize when I think I'm right. I'm not perfect, but I am human. And I know one thing more than if I leave this world today that I've done with my life. And if I do nothing else with my life, or I have done nothing else with my life, I know I've been a damn good mother above everything in this world. And there is no way. I love kids. I love kids and I love animals, and they don't compare. They're not the same. But I tell you one thing, there is no way on God's green earth or beyond, as a mother, I could ever let any of this shit go on. Ever. And remind you, I'm only just a little bit into this. And I'm firm to stand on what I believe. And it don't matter if I like you or I don't like you. It don't matter if you did anything or you didn't do anything. I'm entitled to my opinions. I'm sure that Katie's a lovely person. I'm sure she's a likable person. I'm sure she's a bitch too. I seen that side of her as well. When y'all were all out here seeing her, I heard her behind the scenes raise her voice at me. She was upset because her man was giving me grace. Did I pay her any mind? No, I didn't. Did my thoughts still change about her? No, they didn't. Now they really went backflipped in a 1040. Y'all don't know what a 1040 is? I don't either. I just made that up. But I really don't like her. I just felt it was worth making up. Because there's no words. I don't even know anymore. Today, I still stand on what I believe and what I believe from day one. Show poodle, it's the truth. It's the God's honest truth. I'm just going to be honest with you. I can sit here and lie, make up these words, but I'm not going to lie. Honey, I don't even know what it means either. You know, I don't know what it means either, honey. But first and foremost, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was and is a victim. And he was let down. Let me tell you what, he was let down by the ones he loved and the ones he trusted the most. And in my opinion, he still is being let down and he still is a victim. And if that shoe fits, then by God, wear that shoe. And I'm speaking to the ones who let him down. Lord, help you. Come forward now. Ask Jesus for forgiveness and ask Jesus to take that wheel, honey. Every one of you. Not just one of you, every one of you. Take that wheel. Jesus, fix this, because he's not even mine. And I ask Jesus to take this wheel and fix this every day. I don't know how I got so wrapped up in this, but I done told y'all he reminds me so much of my third son. And Sebastian, oh my God, I want him found more than y'all even know. But he's not mine. And that's the problem. He's not mine. So how can a mother let these things that I even got, even an inch reading last night, let happen and just go on about her business when he disappears? Absolutely, Sharon. Absolutely. Look, I don't care if you're the police. I don't care if you're DCF or DCS or whatever y'all are calling it these days up there in Tennessee. Mom, dad, stepdad, grandparents, or Joe Blow down the road. Fix this. Now, I know Seth is trying to fix this, but he'll be the first one to tell you he wish he had known sooner. He wished there was things he had did. Listen, they all need it. I wish everybody could take accountability and responsibility like Seth. Seth's not perfect. But I don't see anybody else out here fighting. I don't see anybody else trying to do anything. And people say, well, Smiley, no, you don't have to show it. You don't. You don't have to put food on the porch like a dog either. When you say Sebastian knows how to get in the front door and take off either. You're going to get me started back, ain't you? I just knew it. I knew I couldn't do this without going back. I just knew it. I know myself too well. Katie put food allegedly on the porch and ran off out of town within the days after Sebastian went missing. Now I'm clapping like Chris Proudfoot. Y'all want to know the truth of the matter? I know Seth ain't gonna like this, but y'all know the truth of the matter. I don't hold Chris as responsible as I do his mother, Katie. And that's the God's honest truth. That's the God's honest truth. Now that might change. There may be more to come out, but that's the God's honest truth. Maybe it was just because he covered his ass way too much. I don't know. And yes, I know what he did. And I haven't got down in these reports, mind you, so tomorrow this may be totally different. Tomorrow we all might be thinking a little bit different. So don't hold me to that too much. Yeah, I don't understand. Exactly, Lady Freedom. She said this right here. Exactly. I'm done trying to understand Katie's actions. Right. There you go. There you go. So I'm asking for myself. Y'all pray for me because, honey, I'm asking Jesus to take this wheel right here. This is the most heart-wrenching, yes, disgusting things that I have seen or read in here. And I want y'all to be prepared. I want y'all to make sure, if you have not heard this, that you hold on to your heart and take care of yourself. And if you need to step away on some of these things, that you definitely do. I'm not going to go verbatim. Well, I'm going to say the truth and verbatim what's in here, but I'm not going to sit here and read this thing, just read down the line. That's not how I'm going to work my channel. I'm just going to say shame on you for allowing this. Shame on you, Katie. Shame on you, Chris. Shame on you, DCF. Shame on you, Sheriff's Office. Sebastian deserved more and still deserves more. And I pray this gives others, and this is the point I think a lot of people's missing. I pray this gives others the courage to come forward. Why would anybody be trying to shut this down? You say you don't believe in DV. You say you're not for DV, blah, 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 blah. It's good when somebody speaks up. Let's forget if they're suing but not for the money. Hey, Bo. Hey, everybody coming in. Forget. Let's just take the money out of the equation. Okay? Stop it. This may help others, whether it's children, mothers of children, brothers and sisters, or other kids that know what's going on in abuse cases, to come forward and speak. It may give others the courage to come up again. Police departments, the crooked ones. Now, there are good ones out there, but listen, even they're intimidated and can't speak up because of retaliation, y'all. They can't do it. They can't do it. Why don't you sit down? I'm not reading all of yours yet. I can only see bogus lawsuit, and I don't know if you're speaking to Seth, but I'm trying not to read the chat. How about sit down and maybe you can learn something if you listen and y'all stop trying to troll. How about that? Okay. Now, let's get back to it. Shame on everybody. Shame on everybody. Maybe it will give them courage to come forward. Y'all do know, example, in Summerwell's case, I know for a fact, and I was there. I wasn't there in the county. I was on the phone several times with somebody that literally used to work at that sheriff's department, and they would have domestic violence, and they would call me, and they would be pulled over every time. I'm like, man, they couldn't go to the cops. the cops wouldn't even take their side of it. They would arrest them, put them in jail. Sometimes they wouldn't even give them reasons or excuses why. Listen, it's just the way it works in the good old boys counties when they stick together. And the good cops don't want that coming for them. Get a grip. So I hope this gives others courage, okay? They all dropped the ball. They were all wrong. They made so many mistakes at the beginning. They should have been protecting Sebastian, but they didn't. And this goes way beyond when he came up missing. This goes back years, y'all. Years. The proof is on the paper, not just with Sumner County, not with just CPS. Have y'all even really read these? It was in the juvenile court systems with Sebastian. Have I asked what, why? No. No. Can I? Could I? Yeah, I'm not going to. There's only one thing. I'm going to be honest with you. And neither one of them, and that includes Seth, which maybe he was ashamed of. I don't know. But I'm going to put it out here right now. And if this is it, maybe it is, maybe it's not. And I've been holding back on it to not put it public. But I'm going to put it public. Sorry, Seth. I'm going to put it public today. I went to Chris. It was a no. I went to Seth. It was a no. Well, actually, I went to Tony, and Tony said he went to Seth, and the text message was a no. I don't know if Tony told Seth who it was. We hadn't got that close at that time. But it was about the bomb threat. And I'm going to tell you, before anybody says anything, including you, Seth, I had somebody not only come to me, a source. Now, mind you, this wasn't my family member that worked in that school. I've never asked them anything. Only they do. The talk of the town was there. They think, or their people there thought Sebastian got in a car, but whatever. Oh, okay. That was on, that was made on the school. I can't remember. I have to go back and look at the date, June 5th. Or no, not June. Somebody help me out here in the audience. I know somebody helps me out. It was in the newspaper. Okay, the story was, and it had, and the person that came to me, though, there was a bomb threat at the school. There was a bomb threat at the school. Yeah, I can't remember the date. Help me out, Millie. I can't remember it right off the top of my head. Anyway, this person, I even checked their somebody, they told me that somebody kin to them worked at the school. Well, come to find out, I checked all that out, and they were a little bit closer to the school than, I'm not going to get into all that. Okay, I'm not going to get into all that. That side too, I get that side two of my best friends are husband and wife. Ellie, they are good guys too, but that's hard to accept. Anyway, so the story was that Sebastian is the one that called the threat in. But I said at first, I was like, no, that couldn't be. They would have had him down in juvenile. That would have, and they said no, because of his issues. They gave, Katie and Chris was there, and I believe they said you were there. But the reason that they could not, or the reason that they did not take him to juvenile is they were giving Katie or time to get his medical records or something like that. So anyway, but the point is, It was denied. I thought no more about it. I'm just saying, true or not, if nobody wants to put that out, I don't know. And then I was told a bunch of people in the bathroom had, it wasn't his idea. It wasn't his idea to do that. But regardless, he was in the system, and they knew. That's my point. Nobody has to speak here or answer to anything. As a matter of fact, I really wish you would not. But the point is, it's in the reports. It's in the public reports, okay? And, okay. Yeah, mostly because they didn't come out. Mostly because they were kept quiet. And I don't know if that's because he was a juvenile or not. I'm just saying what was asked privately. Don't tell me. I don't know if he was involved or had anything to do with that or not. I've already, like I said, Tony said no. Chris said no. And I left it alone. But again, my point is, in these papers, they should have known. They absolutely should have known. They should have known when they did the CPS visits. They should have known all of that. And they did not. So many mistakes. And I feel the first mistake that they made is not wanting, hey, Nana, hey, sweet Nana, is not wanting Katie on that phone and allowing Chris to make that 3-way call that morning, because he was not even there. Who does that? Who does that? And listen again, people, it's not just Seth suing them, suing the state of Tennessee. It's other people. They got a class action lawsuit out against them right now. So lay off of him about that. He has every right to do that. He has every right to do that. It's been a long time coming. All right, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, he is, as we know, he's still a minor child, although it's been over 2 years. But for the paperwork, he's a minor child. He was a minor child at the time of his disappearance when he was 15 years old. And it says in this paperwork, he is on the autism spectrum. He's on the autism spectrum disorder board. He is autistic. We already know that. But for those that don't, I'm going to tell you what this paper says. He has severe combined ADHD with his autism, and he has 6q27 chromosome deletion syndrome. And he just vanished from under his mother's care and under her roof and his stepfather's home, Christopher Proudfoot, in Hendersonville, Tennessee, which was sometime February 25th or early morning February 26th, 2024, and was reported that morning of February 26th, 2024, right? We all know about that. We know allegedly Chris was not home, and allegedly Chris was at work 3 hours away in Memphis. We know about the alibi too, and thank you for putting that out. Coop, I love that. I love that. Who in the world would call in an alibi like that? No boss talks like that when they're trying to talk to a PI. I'm just saying, I don't care how many times you've been bugged. Not in a missing kids case. Think about that, y'all. Anyway, just thinking about that. Let me get back on track. But Katie did not call 911. She did not call Sebastian's father, who, by the way, was in the next county over, fixing to get off of his night shift in Metro Nashville, Davidson County, over at the jail, downtown. No. She called Chris, the stepdad, who hadn't been there in weeks, allegedly. Why? And allegedly Katie was on mute and he did the talking? Why? In my opinion, that's not normal. I've never changed from that. And in my opinion, right there, that was the start of the law. Not only his mother, but the law. Sumner County Sheriff's Office failing Sebastian. The lawsuit states that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, it states in there, is not an ordinary missing child. It says he is profoundly vulnerable with multiple documented disabilities. Trigger warning. He is profoundly vulnerable with multiple documented disabilities and a history of sexual abuse that had been reported and investigated. They were well aware of this, in my opinion. Sebastian's case, in my opinion, urgently needed to be handled. It needed to be handled different. It says he was profoundly vulnerable with multiple documented disabilities. And not only that, he had a well-documented history and investigated history of sexual abuse. In my opinion, because I'm going to give you my opinion, no matter if you want it or not, because of that, his mother, Katie, should have allegedly treated him and his missing is more of a bigger deal than she had, in my opinion. That's just me. Not driving to school back and forth with her windows up, caught on camera. Not with more, she should have had more urgency, because she sure didn't have no urgency, in my opinion. She sure wasn't breaking any laws to speed to the school, was she? She acted like she was searching for a little rabbit or a squirrel or a cat that might have run up the tree. In my opinion, of course. not her one and only son, who not only was disabled and had multiple documented disabilities, was vulnerable, and even if she had no hand in anything, being the last one with him or seen him, and knowing that he had that soft place in his head, if he hit his head or somebody else did because they didn't like how he looked and knocked him in the head, he could have been killed. Maybe they didn't like him because he didn't have any shoes on. I'm sorry to get so graphic and like the way he looked. But she wasn't worried about any of that. She was worried about just putting him a little can of food out and leaving to go with her husband wherever he needed to go and be followed. Yeah, and maybe they didn't like him because his pants was dropping and he forgot his belt, right? Where was that urgency? Where is that urgency now? Susan Smith did a better job. And they wanted to just say he was a runaway. I don't care if she said he was a runaway. I don't care if all the money in the world walking came down there and said he was a runaway. I don't care if that's what Kathy was doing down there before time even came and said he was a runaway. Oh my God, do y'all not get it? He had so many disabilities and so many problems. Let me ask you this. Let me just stop right here. I'm just going to say something. This is triggering, and we hadn't even got to that part yet. I haven't even got to that part, but I heard pieces of it. Katie, I'm asking this directly to you. I don't know how in the hell else to be but blunt. I'm not going to pussyfoot around this. Why? I have a question for you. It's documented through the therapist and stuff. It's documented, and these people probably don't even know what I'm talking about yet, but they will. Thank you. Thank you for this. We definitely need this. And Sebastian is not to blame one bit. Not one. He is innocent. I don't give a damn. But let me just ask you bluntly, why were you not more urgently trying to find your son if you were not scared somebody was going to hurt him or he was going to get hurt? Why were you not scared that he was going to go out there and hurt somebody else? Not meaning to. Not meaning to. Why, Katie? Why? Christopher Proudfoot does all the talking. I have one more question I would like to ask Christopher Proudfoot, just one. But he's going to have to come up here and answer it for all of us. If he's got the balls. Just one. Because I know he has the answer. And it's going to be a hard question. But I know he has the answer. And it should be the only question asked. And I'm not putting it out here. Now, I don't understand this at all. I don't understand this. I don't know. I was not there. But I know according to reports that has come out, I know because of this lawsuit, I know because of DCS that is in the federal records and on record, that I've just now got my hands on as of last night through the public federal records. Let's get that fact straight. They both should have known. There was physical, well-documented physical and emotional abuse. Yet DCS did nothing. They did nothing, not a nothing. Even Chris got on my live panel on an interview and told us that himself. It also shows reports. Another trigger warning, which again, all of this will have to be proven in court. Okay? It also shows that neighbors of the Proudfeet, not just the school, but may I ask, how is the neighbors? How is the school? Whoever reported this at school? Sebastian telling others in the real world, before YouTube, before he got gone, before all of this, how is the neighbors? How is all of this going on? And is everybody wrong? That's what I used to tell my kids. Everybody can't fucking be wrong, right? Some of these people didn't even know each other. But we got the neighbors of the Proudfoot, Chris and Katie, reported to DCS that the stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, hated the child and he wanted the child to die. My God. My God. DCS they formally decided and determined that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was an imminent risk of removal from their home. They decided that. So, see, you guys, their own words, DCS's own words on their own reports are going to get them in trouble. So everybody out here saying bullshit that can't be done to CPS, do y'all know this is their own words in their own reports? They decided and they determined that Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers was he was in immediate danger. He was in an imminent risk of removal from the Proudfoot home. But they closed the case. They closed the investigation, one, without removing Sebastian for his own safety, and two, they never notified his father, Seth Rogers. Why? Why? Seth Rogers was a very, very much part. Like him, love him, hate him. Katie, like him, love him, hate him. He was very much a part of Sebastian's life and a very active part of his son's life. And he had partial custody and he had visitations all the time. But that don't even matter. The way it works in the real world is if you have a child of what you put in your own words in any state, yep, they failed him. Any state that is at risk like that, and you don't remove the child, because normally what happens is when they find a situation like that, they will remove the child from the home, even if they have to take it to the godforsaken office building where they have no room. And they will contact or try their best to get in contact with the father, whether they are in China or not, Japan, it doesn't matter. And if that father tells them they can't take him, they won't, they need to wait, they this, they that, the other, and give excuses, or it's not a no-go, then they would go to the next person of kin, which would probably be her mother. In that case, we all know that's a no-go. So then they would try so on and so on and so on, Seth's mom. Anyway, oh, Lord, have mercy. Do y'all not get it? And at that point, they would do a placement at a foster home. But none of that happened. None of that happened. So Sebastian has been failed before under Katie's watch. Under her roof, under Chris's roof. And I could hear Chris on my panel now, thinking back. And it was probably just razzle-dazzle, just, I'll leave, I work in Memphis. That's probably why he wasn't there since February, the 1st of February. It's fine. I'll take all my stuff now. You can watch me put it in the car. They can have the house. They can stay here until we get this sorted out. This is why his dad is taking him. Yes, I mean Mr. Chris. Because, I'm at work and it's fine. Everything's fine. In that case, if he agreed and they removed the problem, then they would have probably left Sebastian there. Because at that time, remember, and it gets on into it, Chris was the main problem. with the whipping and hitting of the belt, and he was hit in the stomach, admitted, which that gets on down into there later on and stuff like that. So I don't know. I wasn't there, but we'll see. We'll see. But this is nuts. You can't deny he was not failed. Hello, everybody coming in. Thank you for being here so much. Then with all that, they did not even take any, they didn't take any additional actions to protect Sebastian. Then 9 months later, Sebastian was gone. That's when he was gone. To me, this is one of the most striking allegations in the lawsuit is the DCS on its own. But Sumner County Sheriff's Office had access to all of that and more. There's more that they had access to that we're not even privy to. But it's serious, and it says so on the paperwork, serious or imminent risk of removal from the home. And the fact is, the lawsuit also alleges that the neighbors reported Sebastian was hated by Chris. Chris said that, and that they heard him saying he wished he was dead. Again, I want to use this disclaimer, and I want to remind you all, this has not been proven in a court of law. We all have to remember, everyone in this, world, we can say what we want, we can write what we want, but until proven guilty in a court of law, and that's the best thing about this country, until proven in a court of law, we're innocent. But we know by Chris' own admission, by his own words, what he said and how we can piece some things together, right? So I'm just saying, as a disclaimer, please remember that, and please don't go harass or, try to follow or, whatever to anyone, because I don't condone any of that. Okay. But we also have had the teachers try to help Sebastian. They've tried to do the right thing and call CPS. We've had neighbors. We don't really know who else has done things, but obviously they had been involved with Sebastian and their lives before this, and people knew things. You cannot back all that up in a box and pack it in and tape it back up. So is everybody wrong? You can be the judge of that. Public opinion is harsh. Public opinion is harsh, but that's just what it is, public opinion. But Sebastian is the one I'm worried about. Everybody else can suck it up, buttercups. You don't like it? Suck it up, buttercups. Y'all are grown. Quit crying. When they say serious or imminent risk of removal, that is very significant. Because the child welfare, they don't just say that. That's very extreme. And that's a high level of concern. And it's high enough that removal from that perfect, picture perfect home was, considered that Sebastian needed to be removed from there. Hey, Mama Rissa and everybody coming in. Picture perfect is not always the best. Sebastian needed more intervention, and he did not get it. And what would Sebastian be doing today if he would have got that intervention? None of this would be happening. None of us would be here. They're also saying Sumner County Sheriff's Office was negligent and inadequate. They had access to all of those records, and they failed to secure the scene. Because look, not that it was a crime scene, but because they had all that information, and they failed to secure it. They let people in and out, including Seth, which that was his father. They shouldn't have let Seth, Katie, or anybody in there. They should have, kept them out. At least they did that with John Bonet. They tried to keep them upstairs. You just don't let people trample all over stuff, even if you think it's a runaway. Yeah, they should have been removed from the house, in my opinion. But hey, just sit down at the table and let's all have a cup of coffee, and then let's bring mom and all the folks over and the girlfriends and stuff, and let's just sit down and play a deck of rummy, and maybe we can, when the cops come in, we can give them some hot donuts, and we can talk about it at the dinner table. Just don't cause me to be late for dinner, okay? I don't care, after all, what they say. They ain't screwing me, they ain't paying my bills, and we ain't fucking, so who cares? Right? Right. Okay. So anyway, they failed to investigate. And they failed to investigate. The papers say they failed to investigate why the cameras at the home was not working that day. Well, nobody would ever answer that. So, did you have cameras? Did you not have cameras? It's mighty funny. She, we went through all that, and everybody and their brother went through that. She had worked for the alarm company, and either the cameras was cut off or they didn't have cameras. So, hey, Julie, hello, everybody coming in. Hello. Yeah, what kind of jewelry they wanted? Yep, let's sit down and paint. Hey, mama-in-law, let's sit down and paint fingernails and talk about it. Let's just tiptoe around this whole thing, because according to these papers, either somebody's got my son, and or he's out on a homicidal. Who cares? Let's just pack up and leave him some dog food, and buy any sausage or something out on the porch, and we gonna be heading out anyway. Who cares? I mean, that's the cold vibe that I'm getting from her. Jeez, man. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'd be scared to sleep with both eyes closed in the bed with that lady. I mean, the truth is the truth. Now, if what would Sebastian be doing, really? I mean, he would be going to school. He loved his school. He loved the animals. They've had he's had 2 birthdays. I mean, what? This is just nuts. This should not even be happening. They're also saying, of course, that, like I said, Sumner County Sheriff's Office is negligent and was negligent because they had access to all of these things, and they failed to secure the scene. They failed to verify the stepfather's alibi, which that one was a big one for me. I was really shocked on that. I don't know, but I was really shocked on that one. I was actually blown away by that one, to be honest with you. But maybe they just took his word. Who knows? Seth, literally, they made fun of Seth, and Seth could leave, and Seth could do this, and Seth could do that. Well, Seth literally showed he got his attorneys to at the time to really get his time card and all of his things. But you can lead a horse to water, you just can't make it drink, right? They scaled back the search after 1 week. I think it was 8 days. I could be wrong on that, but I think it was 8 days. They had one detective on the case, Brandon Carter. Brandon Carter stopped communicating, they say, approximately 18 months ago, and has been, there's been no press conference since March 2024. And when they do a press conference, they don't put any, or have done a press conference, they have not, hey Janice, they have not put any photos or anything of Sebastian up. I was thinking about that last night, actually, because we've all said that. Who don't put a picture of a missing kid up, especially if it's the police department? They do it in all the cases, but I was wondering if that was significant about anything in their way of thinking, a strategy, but what could it be? Why would they not? I mean, other than in my opinion, other than they're lazy. That's just pure hatefulness and laziness to me on their part. But that's just my own personal thoughts and opinions. But yeah, that's one of his beefs with them, and I don't blame him. If that was my child, I'd be upset that they did not put a picture up. The only thing that Sumner County will say is, when they have spoke, is this is an ongoing investigation and it has never been closed. I think that is kind of the statement that they made. But they have not publicly stated that they believe that he is alive or not alive. They have not publicly named any suspects, and they have not publicly cleared anyone. So everybody is still a suspect. I think Eric Craddock himself has said that. How do you have suspects if there's no crime? So from this whole case, this entire case has been a mess from the start, in my opinion. But Seth Rogers has not and will not ever give up hope. That is his son. He always has hope that his son is alive, no matter what. This is torment. I can tell you that personally. This is torment for Seth. But how long can he keep going on like that? How long can he keep going on like that? And he told me yesterday, he's like, my body is just everything is just breaking down. It's just it's catching up with him. And that's sad. So Sumner County Sheriff's Office, and this is in the paperwork, they can be sued. And there is under is it Monell, Monell versus Department of Social Services, 436.65658, 1978, for constitutional violations resulting from its official policies and customs and practices. So yes, they can be sued. They are being sued, and they're going to continue to be sued until they say, no, this case is not worthy. But I don't think that this attorney took this case if he didn't think there was some merit to it. So in page 3, if you have this, I think it's 10, number 10, defendant Sheriff is Sheriff Craddock, Eric Craddock. He is the duly elected sheriff of Sumner County. He is publicly named. He was elected for Sumner County law enforcement, right? And he's directly being sued. For his part in this missing persons case of Sebastian. He's being sued in both his official and individual capacity, right? Right? Work and otherwise. They're going after everything for him. Same with Brandon. In other words, he's being personally held responsible by this lawsuit for these actions. The complaints are saying in the lawsuit that alleges he took or failed to take, and basically the same thing for Brandon Carter, which was the sole detective assigned to this case. Brandon Carter suggested that he was going to have meetings with Seth that never took place. He agreed to meet with Seth. Then he would not. He never did respond again. So he damn well dropped the ball. And Sebastian's father was not going to just sit down, lay down, and shut up and go silent like everybody else. He was, and he is, and he will go to the ends of this earth to stand on the highest mountain and scream for his son, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He will yell, "I am here. I need you, son. I love you. I am fighting for you. And I am not stopping. My number is still the same. I know, because I have heard him over and over and over again, and that's all he ever says. Please find my son. All I want is my son." Now I ask, where is Katie, his mother's same energy? Just checking. Now, Detective Carter and Pretty Boy, they will have the opportunity to file, their paperwork or whatever you call it, the deposition or whatever it is, to call their response and deny all of these allegations. And of course, unless they're even dumber than I thought, in my opinion, then they will deny all of them. But they will have that chance. And we all know that the police department has good attorneys as well. In my opinion, they'll deny all the allegations, and they'll raise their defenses, and they'll present stuff, and they'll have their attorneys present their case. This is going to be tough. We have to remember that no matter what we believe, and no matter what the court of law decides, all of this is not up for debate. We can't, listen, Seth has the right to do this. And again, this is for Sebastian, and this is hopefully to help so many other children. Now, also in the paperwork, they have John and Jane Doe in the lawsuit labeled 1 through 10. This does not mean Seth or his attorney knows there are exactly 10 more people. His attorney might or might not be sure yet who they are. We don't know, but it could be, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. It could be 2. It could be one more. It could be 10, all 10, or they might even have to add more. But they've reserved the right to sue 10 more. It means that there is more people out there that they may or may not know their full identities to yet. That employees or the supervisors or dispatchers or somebody that's involved right now, they just don't have their full information yet. And they are not known to Seth or his attorney. But during this lawsuit, they will be, because it's going to come out. If it gets to discovery and it gets to that phase and it gets to the depositions and all that's going to come out. Stuff like that. If or when their identities become known, the lawsuit can be amended to replace John and Jane Doe to the person's legal government names, and they too will be sued if that's what needs to happen. And there is a very strong chance they will be. See, the lawsuit is to say law enforcement was definitely aware these allegations that Sebastian had been sexually abused and was vulnerable was known, and the ball was dropped by Sumner County Sheriff's Office. They handled this case all improper at the beginning. They prevented him for extra concerns and getting the extra concerns and safety that he needed, even despite all that the lawsuit claims. They failed him. They failed the actions to protect him. They could have improved the investigation because he was vulnerable, and he was vulnerable with his disabilities. And in this lawsuit, it states that the 15-year-old child, which was Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, required the highest level of investigated urgency, and also had an IEP plan that anybody who knows what that is, that's short for an individualized educational plan at his school. So his school provided him with special accommodations because he was a student with disabilities. Sometimes it just depends on how you had the plan set up. They have, let me see what you're saying, Mom Marissa. They have sometimes give them more time for tests, more times to get to class, stuff like that. No, Smiley, even if they didn't have anything to do with his disappearance, just the way they treated this case going silent and the other things we've witnessed doing is a full. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. And that's the thing of it. And that's what I say. Even if they didn't have anything to do with it, my God, they knew all these other things. That's the whole thing. That's not good at all. That is not good. That's not good. And it should have been treated a lot different, a lot more urgent, But his school provided him with special accommodations, and he got therapy 3 times a week. He got mental health. He was on the mental health criteria. He saw a neurologist at Vanderbilt. He was scheduled to start the ABA therapy at the time of his disappearance, which, allegedly the lady had called in, the nurse or the person from the doctor's office, and said that that appointment was canceled. Well, people were asking why. Don't people cancel doctor's appointment? Yes, Lord, yes. But maybe she felt that that was important now that Sebastian was missing and that those pieced together. I'm just saying. Because that was his therapist, and she reported that because she knew, and it states in these records, as the therapist reported, that as a consequence, and Katie knows this, as a consequence of prior sexual abuse, trigger warning again, Sebastian was sexually aggressive and suffered frequent bathroom accidents. There was lots they were working on. Law enforcement reported that Sebastian had some homicidal thoughts. Now we're fixing to get down into it. And this is very important because this means that before Sebastian went missing, Sumner County Sheriff's Office already had a direct involvement in this case through Child Protective Services team. Child Protective Services said this is their own words. Hello, everybody coming in. Thank you. That they had multiple agencies, including Sumner County Sheriff's Office, Juvenile Court, Ashley's Place, which is a child advocacy center, and so on. I didn't go into all that, but there's a lot more agencies that was involved. This means Sumner County Sheriff's Office was not just learning about Sebastian. They were not just learning about all of his issues. The courts knew about this, the juvenile courts. There's things that are sealed. There's lots of stuff going on. There's lots of moving parts. There's things that's not in these records, okay, that we're still not going to get. And these are fixing to be sealed. Hey, Justin. Hello. You snoring doggy. Yeah. I almost overdosed on some dog ice cream yesterday. I had 3 little cups. I thought I was getting those little things, and I didn't realize it was ice cream, but I had 3 of them left, and I gave her all 3 of them. I gave her all 3 of them, and she had a sugar high yesterday. I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I think she's still got that going on. Oh my gosh. But this is why they don't try, why didn't they try harder? I mean, this is crazy. They already had this information, right? And then on November 3rd, 2022, okay, he didn't go missing until 24. So listen to what I'm saying, people. On November 3rd, I apologize. November 3rd, 2022 and May 2023, Sumner County Sheriff's Office was involved, trigger warning, with Sebastian. Okay? Now, also in California, they had all of those records where he had been sexually abused by a peer under Katie's watch over a period of weeks that included forced oral and anal penetration. My God. Sebastian was afraid. Now, this broke my heart. I mean, even more so. Not more so than the act itself. But listen, this really hurt me. Sebastian was afraid his stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, he was going to find out and was going to be mad. Listen, we all as kids, regardless, we love our parents, we love our step parents. Regardless, I have no doubt Sebastian loved his mom. I have no doubt, and I told Seth this, I have no doubt he loved Chris. Sebastian loved everybody. Sebastian wanted to please everybody. And when I heard this, that broke my heart even more because, yeah, I'm sure he did. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say he didn't like his stepdaddy. I'm sure he loved Chris. And I'm, it's, to be scared and to be scared they're going to find out something like this and to already be told in the paperwork that they hate you and they say they wish you were dead or wish you would die, that does something to you. But a child can forgive. A child is resilient. But I can't even imagine how scared he was or thinking how Chris would not love him or anything if he found this out. And that part right there really got me and really broke my heart. But you know what upset me more than that? Yeah. His own fucking mother his mother. And it should have been her job to make sure everybody was, okay with everything, and knew everything. And her son was put above it all. But that's not the choice she made. That's not the choice she made. Can you imagine finding out or thinking somebody is going to find out what happened to me, but then somebody in your own household and you have to walk on eggshells all the time? Yeah, he must have been scared to death all the time. But it does say in these papers that he felt safe with his dad. But they wouldn't call his dad. They didn't call his dad. No. Again, remember in these papers, neighbors reported his stepdad said the exact words. He wanted him to die. and he hated him. Sebastian's grandmother reported the stepfather often called Sebastian names and would degrade him. The therapist said he was sexually aggressive, and law enforcement itself, hear me? Law enforcement itself reported he had homicidal thoughts. DCS determined he was at serious, intimate risk of removal from the Proudfoot's home. Sebastian had never left there before, though, Katie said. He was not a runaway. He was not an eloper. So this information was crucial. It was crucial context. Any information that they had about this was very important in Sebastian's disappearance and how they handled it. It pointed directly, or it should have pointed directly to that household as the primary focus. I didn't say go drag nobody down for unaliving. I just said it should have pointed directly to the primary focus, that household, of an investigation. It should have pointed to a person of significant interest. But like it says in the lawsuit, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office failed to treat that information appropriately and with urgency, and it constitutes a definite indifference. But, hey, we got these people out there that love snuggle struggles, that said what he said way back when, before he was even sheriff. They really believe in Craddock. They believe he's doing a darn good job. Now, that's just my opinion, of course, and obviously the opinion of others, but I'm keeping others out of my life tonight. On February 26, 2024, Katie told law enforcement and reported. She didn't report it. Chris reported it. But when they got there and everything was said and done, that he left his home on his own and his whereabouts was unknown. And that Sebastian has never left. He's never left the home alone, given his disabilities and his documented history of abuse. That should have been triggers right there. That should have been triggers. Should have been triggers for everybody, but it wasn't. And there's more. There's a lot more, and it gets a lot worse. I just couldn't bring myself to go on with it. I really couldn't. Because when I say it gets worse, I glanced, I didn't read, and I'm telling you, when Seth tells you if anybody saw some of this stuff, you're going to have nightmares. Oh, he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. So I'm just going to tell y'all, just get prepared. We're going to go over it bits by bits. I don't know. It's a lot to it. It was 21 pages that I got, and all I can say is I got a lot of reading to do. I got a lot of reading to do. But Sebastian never deserved this, not before, not during, and not after. Sebastian is definitely a victim. He still is. He was before. There are people that tried to help, just nobody listened. People are listening now, and people are not going to go away. They're not going away. Hey, Henry. So we'll come back with more discussions on this, and, everything coming from that. I know, I think in November, what is it, November 12th? I don't know if Seth is still listening or not, but it's probably because he probably can't take this too much. But I think there's been some movement in Lady Freedom. Do you know, is it November 12th? Something come out today about the DCF part of the lawsuit. So that was pretty quick. I know Seth said he was going to check. Anyway, there's been some kind of movement on that already, or something's coming out about that. And I guess we'll let you know as it comes. So, hey, YouTuber here. I'm sorry, anybody I have not saw. Sherry, I'm so sorry. Carol, I love you. Mama Rissa was over here. Thank you, Mama Rissa, for being here. Jilly, Samantha, Bo. Yeah, it was something in November. I just kept, well, hold on. Maybe I did take that picture. Hold on a minute. I'm losing my mind. I'm telling y'all, it's been one of those. It has been one of those days. Hold on. I think I do got it. Oh, actually, I know what it was. Okay, here it is. Yeah, it's November. Okay, so it says there's a small update with the DCS lawsuit, Rogers versus Department of Children and Family Services. There's a conference date. What it is a conference date on November 12th at 10 o'clock a.m. The judge magistrate Jeffrey S. Frensley, Frensley. So let me get that where I will post that. And so I don't know what the conference is all about. I guess we'll see. But that was pretty quick, actually. They're probably tired of getting sued. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just going to be me, Sherry, and I decided I can't. I just have to, instead of just reading it down, Tracy's already did that, and instead of me reviewing hers, which she would be a perfect choice because she just, from what I understood, she just went straight down it. But instead of all that same old stuff, I'll just pull the facts from there, and then I'll just add my little commentary to my own thoughts and opinions. And we'll just go from there. I don't know how long this will take because it'll be a pretty good long ride, I'm sure. Just wonder how many good. Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of them. I'm sure there's plenty of them. And, there's people, everybody knows there's good cops. And again, I was saying that earlier. I don't know if you were here or not earlier, Sharon, but see, that's the thing of it. these people right here, these cops and corruption and all that, or people that overlook it, I don't even know if I'm saying it right, they make it bad for the ones that really, really, really want to. No, that's fine, Lady Freedom. They want to make it bad for the others that are really trying and struggling and trying to make it for their family and do the right things and uphold the law. And when you're in that kind of work, you don't go against your brothers and sisters like that. You can't. You know, there's fear of retaliation, and there's fear if you leave or turn it in. I mean, you're still targeted on the outside, or your family is. And so it's just a hard situation. But there are good, honest cops out there. So thank you, Lady Freedom. Thank you for all you do and have been doing. But yeah, I think that they are, and a lot of them are just going to be scared to speak up unless they're just made to. But frankly, I wouldn't like to be in that position. Thank you for putting up Sebastian's flyer. Absolutely, thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm going to play this song for Sebastian out again. And Seth, matter of fact, Seth on his, if y'all want to drop his link, he put out Sebastian's Law today. I shared that. I wish y'all would share it out everywhere that he's working on. And he put a song, he had sent it to me last night. I just got it this morning. I'm like, that is the most beautiful song ever that he had wrote for Sebastian. And that's another thing. People say, oh, he's not doing anything. Well, I noticed when he sent it to me, I think he had wrote it when Sebastian had been missing, like, and I could be wrong, I think it was like 8 months into it or something. But he has told me that he's writing more and more and more, which I tell him that's good for him or whatever. And, you know, he just needs that encouragement, y'all. And just please continue to encourage him, because this is really wearing on him. And, you know, it's hard. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. But just pass out any flyers you can. Share any flyers. Just one a day. Just see it on here. It's free, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this song out. This is the one I did, and I love this song, and I'm going to play it out. And I love you, each and every one of you. Thank you for spending some time with me, and thank you for being here.
On a cold February evening, a shadow walked away. A boy with dreams and laughter, now lost in yesterday. The seasons turned in silence, time spins without a sound. Yet every whispered memory still echoes all around. Don't stop calling his name, don't let the silence win. Keep the porch light shining bright, keep the hope alive within. For Sebastian, our dear friend, every heartbeat says the same. You are loved, you are remembered. We'll never stop calling your name. His pictures in our windows, his laughter fills the air. No amount of passing moments can diminish how we care. Every candle ever lighted, every prayer that we share is a promise to the future, a testament to prayer. Don't stop calling his name, don't let the silence win. Keep the porch light shining bright, keep the hope alive within. For Sebastian, our dear friend, every heartbeat says the same. You are loved, you are remembered. We'll never stop calling your name. Sebastian, if somehow you hear us, know our hearts beat strong for you. People searching in the shadows, still holding on to truth. You have never been forgotten, not for one single day. Our promise stands unbroken. We're not walking away. Don't stop calling his name. Don't let the silence win. Keep the porch light shining bright, keep the hope alive within. For Sebastian, our dear friend, every heartbeat says the same. You are loved, you are remembered. We'll never stop calling your name. To everyone listening, please remember Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. If you know something, no matter how small, share it with law enforcement. Sebastian, you are loved. You are missed. You are loved. You are remembered. And as long as there are people who care, your name will continue to be spoken. Your picture will continue to be seen, and hope will continue to live. This is our promise. We will never stop looking.